Welcome back, guys. DGS 235, gorgeous day out there. Once again, happy birthday to my mom. My mom is 96 years old today, otherwise known as the day before the greatest day of her life, the day I was born. 59 years ago, she was... So the story I always heard is she was in labor for 3 days, which is what she will tell you. And it's probably true. But then like my dad, people be like, well, she was in the hospital for 3 days. I think she took a little mini vacation before I came along, which is probably a really good idea.
Yeah.
So this is going to be an interesting segment here. We have George Rosenthal from ThrottleNet back in. I'm going to walk in one day and he's just going to be sitting in my seat. I'll be lucky to be a guest. And then we have Tina, who is from a company called Master, which is going to be a new live client of mine. We'll hear what they do, but it's basically doing phone systems that are attached to the cloud, not like the old ones. And it's an interesting story, though, because there's a tie-in here, because I know Tina through George. And Tina and her brother and their company used George and ThrottleNet and then stopped and then got hit by ransomware and came back. And so we're going to kind of dovetail in and out of this, but I think this story is so interesting and terrifying because you guys are the quintessential family-owned mom and pop technology company.
We are small business, coming out of the pandemic, trying to cut costs any way possible, make it through, doing the PPP loans and all of that. We decided we didn't need our monthly maintenance. We fancy ourselves kind of technology people, but we're not IT people. But we know our way around switches and routers and that kind of stuff. So we thought, well, we'll do this ourselves. Well, that lasted for about 6 months. And all of a sudden we got attacked with a ransomware attack and request for $17,000 ransom.
So for people it's never happened, how did it happen? Talk me through the physical, oh my God.
Our systems didn't work. And we didn't know what happened. You don't know. All of a sudden, nothing works for you. And then all of a sudden you get an email demanding money and saying this is what we did. And you have this amount of time to pay it.
Was it threatening? Was it matter of fact? Was it broken English?
It's not threatening. These people are great at what they do. I mean, they are unbelievable at what they do. So that was in the middle of July. I think July 15th was the date that happened. We were completely down operationally as a business on anything technology-wise until August 4th. So we were writing everything down on paper.
Oh, man.
Had to when we finally got our systems back up and running. Thank you to ThrottleNet. When we finally got them back, we were able to catch up. But it was 10 days of just sitting and entering orders that we had done manually for 3 weeks.
And you guys didn't pay the ransom.
We did not pay the ransom. Our insurance company worked with another company, and they were able to crack back into and avoid us having to pay the ransom. But, 3 weeks is painful. It's really painful.
You can confirm what I always say when I do lives for George. These guys know what you can afford.
Right.
If they'd have asked you for $500,000, you're like,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Fine. But they knew how much to ask for.
We may have been able to come back online. That's the other thing. We may have been able to come back online had we paid the money, but it was kind of for me and my brother, it was kind of like a principle.
Yeah, I met you. Yeah.
We weren't giving in.
Right.
We were small enough and nimble enough that we could be down and let these guys do their magic and get us back up and running.
So I've had cars stolen, and it's a very sickening feeling hey, that was mine. This must be so much worse, just thinking, how dare you?
It was terrible.
Sit on your butts and do nothing but hit buttons and ruin our business and possibly our life.
It was terrible. It was terrible. We're on the other side of it now, and guess what we pay every month? We pay George and his team at ThrottleNet to take care of us, and we won't. I'm, 100% confident that's never going to happen to us.
George,
again.
was this pretty classic, the way they got hit?
Absolutely. This is something that we talk about, but to see it in real life and to hear it in real life, I'm telling you, it affects every single person, especially the small business, right down to the core of their, multiple generation businesses is gone. Like you said, Tina, I mean, you come to work one day and there's nothing left. There's no access to your accounting. Your purchase orders are gone. Your invoice, everything's gone.
I was on vacation when we got hit. I was in Florida, so that was fun.
And what's wild is, so once Mastor came over to us again and we jumped back in on the network, we found a lot of back doors and a lot of systems they had left in place. So even though we could restore and get the data back on, they had left all types of ways to come back in later and do another attack. And they literally were turning multiple workstations into zombies. And what would happen is at night, they would turn those computers into Bitcoin mining machines. And they were mining Bitcoin at night when they weren't working. So at 7:00 at night, the machine would turn on and go to maximum processing power and start mining Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So we had to remove all of that and then put all the measures in place to really fortify the network so that it will never, ever happen again.
And you were telling me at the game that, like, you and Mike and Chris and you guys are running the company, but you have a couple of guys that like only speak Klingon.
Yes.
But they're like,
they do.
Like, they're the ones who save people like Tina.
Yeah, we have a team of white hat ethical hackers, and thank God they are on our side.
Yeah.
Because they could be doing some really, really bad things, but they're really good guys, and they're the ones that are combating this. In fact, before we came in, I talked with Dustin, and Dustin was just walking me through some of the wild things that you guys had to go through, and it's good to have guys like that on your team.
Yeah.
And not everybody has access
it's like going
to
to a doctor.
It really is. Yeah. And having a professional hacker sitting there in your office that is actually going to take care of the clients and make sure that this never happens to them again. Yeah.
Well, thank you for telling that story. I mean, it's not like, you're a hero for telling. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's embarrassing, and it sucks, and it's a bad thing you went through. But I appreciate you telling that, because there are other people out there who need to know that it can happen. So, take 2 or 3 minutes and tell us about Master, about what you guys do.
Sure. Well, we've been in business for over 30 years here locally. We're a St. Louis-based company. We are partnered with a local company here called Nuso. We're a platinum partner for them, and they are a nationwide provider of cloud PBX service. And so if you're familiar with a company like a Ring Central or some of the big players nationwide that have a name, we're very similar to them, except we are not the provider. We're a partner, and we are the local presence for you. So if your business was to sign up for a Ring Central service, they ship you some phones, and you're responsible for getting them all set up. If you come to us for that kind of service, I used to work at Nuso, and so we know the Nuso platform forwards and backwards, and we're that hands-on, come out, help you through it, walk your people through it, get you trained on the service. It just takes cloud PBX and the fear of switching to VoIP to a whole new level.
So let's say Kevin and I are dentists. We've been in practice for 30 years. We're not tech people. We have a phone system, but it's old school. And we meet you, and we're kind of dumb when it comes to this. And we say, why can't we just keep our old system? What can you offer us that this doesn't? What's your answer?
Well, everybody's already investing in internet service for their business. We all have an internet connection. And what Cloud PBX allows you to do is it leverages the investment you're already making in your internet that you have in your business and allows you to put your voice service over that internet. And, 10, 15 years ago, people were terrified of VoIP because the quality wasn't there. But that's kind of a thing of the past now. The technology has advanced to the point where I don't even use a desk phone at home anymore. I just use a mobile app and a desktop soft phone on my laptop with a headset. So it's really taking your communications for your business, and we consult with you and tell you what the best fit is for the way you do business. It takes it into, this century, and then it grows with you. There's no more you make an investment and 5 years from now it's
someone
obsolete.
Is on your doorstep. Yeah.
Upgrade it. You're upgraded constantly. Upgrades are pushed to all the users on a daily basis.
George, you're a fan of this?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We use all cloud services as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people who aren't doing this are really putting themselves.
Oh, absolutely. Every few years, you have a capital investment to go buy new servers that are on premise instead of actually using it. And on top of that, you're stuck. Your office phone is stuck at just that, at your office. You can't be anywhere you want to be. I mean, we have half our team out working from home or remotely a lot of the times, and they can be anywhere they want on any device they want because of what Mastor's providing.
Well, thank you guys. You guys will be hearing more about Mastor because I'll be doing lives for them. For now, you can go to the website, which is MASTOR, Mastor.com, or call 314-997-9007. Thank you both. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
quick
Good
break.
to see you.
Right back, DGS.